Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova. Thank you for joining us for Contemporary Confession service. Hopefully you all got pamphlets as you came in with the readings. We ask that you participate as much as you feel comfortable doing so, and we hope that this service adds meaning to your Day of Atonement.
Eternal One, we use these days of awe to reflect on the year since last Yom Kippur and on what's to come. Individually, we may have experienced the suffering of loved ones, personal illness, scarcity of food and resources, or been victims of hate and violence. Our world is still held in the grip of disease, political polarization and nationalism, horrors of war, and climatic upheaval.
We have witnessed the brutality of October 7th and its ongoing aftermath. We have instant and constant access to a barrage of worrisome world events. Who is not fearful and anxious at a time about what lies ahead?
Recently, Rabbi Emily Aronson wrote, "On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed. God, were the horrors of October 7th what you intended for this year? How many shall pass away and how many shall be born? Who shall live and who shall die? Who shall run and who shall hide? Who shall reach the end of their days and who shall not? Who will claim victory and who will lose hope? If repentance, prayer, and righteousness avert the severe decree, I feel so helpless. Yet we read in Ecclesiastes, there is a time for all things, including a time to heal, to grow, to help others, and to love.
Yom Kippur is the time to hope for a better year than the last, to commit to doing our part to foster a better world for everyone. It is our time to commit to renewal and change to make the most of the path we choose.
All things in time, if not today, if not tomorrow, then all things in time, we can't predict what comes to pass. All we control is how and how we recover. Something like faith deep in our skin, everything in its time. All things in time, some things come quick, some things come easy, but all things will come, given the chance, given the room. I can't decide the length of a day, the depth of an ocean. Decide what to explore. Maybe it's just wanting it more, want it enough. Let it begin. Everything in its time.
Again, God, it's been a whole year since last Yontif with you. It seems like yesterday that year ago. I remember wanting to show both you and myself all the changes I'd make, all the fine things I'd do as I sat here last Yontif, as I sat here with you. Those beautiful prayers, how they inspired me. The idea that we could still grow emotionally, spiritually. The thought that I alone could make a difference in the world. Such powerful words when I read them. How committed I felt when I said them.
But I fear I have fallen short, God. Then the dark Shabbat that was October 7th happened, when you seemed to have not been available. And here we are a year later with quite a mess on our hands. So forgive me, but I must ask, who else has fallen short this year? My teacher once asked us, who can tell me the meaning of the verse, "The earth was chaos and confusion, with darkness over the surface of the abyss"? All these years, from then to this very day, that question has echoed within me. The teacher's eyes, as she was looking for a raised hand, that all-encompassing silence echoed in me. On October 7th, the ringing telephone echoed in the silent home of my teacher. "It's me," I said. "Here is your chaos and confusion. Here is your darkness. Here is your abyss. Goodbye."
We live in a dynamic world. Everything changes. Winds change direction, sands shift, rivers change course, mountains move, glaciers melt. No one ever stays the same. Everyone changes. One cell becomes two, two becomes four. What we were and what we are give way to what we will become. Children grow up, we grow old, and there is no choice except for what we choose to become. So the question is not, will we change, but how will we change?
I wonder how I can feel so tied up at times and at the same time feel unraveled. I live thousands of miles from the war. I optimistically said to a friend once, things would get better. To which I heard the response, things will get different. This may be more accurate. Though who wants to walk through life waiting for the other shoe to drop? I am confused about this thing called change.
Today is a day for change. Today is a day for growth. Am I here to change? Am I here to grow?
I acknowledge that part of me is angry and disillusioned and so very exasperated over recent events that I can be at a loss for words, which I guess is not surprising when sometimes there are no words that are adequate. When I tried to write poetry after that terrible day, the words fell face down on the ground in a haphazard pile of crying and fear. And when I was again able to write poetry after that terrible day, it emerged diminished in tiny notes, tentative steps on matchstick feet, ashamed they do not have words enough. Though I hope for fulfillment, I fear failure. Though I hope for treasure, I fear trouble. I seek a better way, but I fear losing my way. So, God, I have no alternative. To admit that I have failed in the past is to break ground. To examine my failures is to plant the first seed. But to grow, to grow from my failure is to stand tall in the garden of peace.
Time has told me you're a rare, rare find, a troubled cure for a troubled mind. And time has told me
what I really don't want to be. Leave the ways that are making me love what I really don't want to love. Time has told me you came with the dawn, a soul with no footprints, a rose with no thorn. Your tears, they tell me there's really no way of ending your trouble with things you can say. And time will tell you to stay by my side, to keep on trying till there's no more to hide. So leave the ways that are making you be what you really don't want to be. Leave the ways that are making you love what you really don't want to love. Time has told me.
On Yom Kippur, we look inward in an attempt to grow morally, spiritually, emotionally. But how can we grow unless we know who we are? To grow demands complete honesty with ourselves. No face to be saved, no barrier between us and the truth. For unless we drop all pretense, we will not find the truth and will never be free from yesterday's ways. So let us resign in the frantic pace of other days, in the moving quiet of this day, to face ourselves honestly, squarely. I think of myself as an ethical person. Do I live by my principles, or do I merely pay them lip service? I think of myself as a person of strong moral character. When facing life's attractive but questionable options, do I follow my conscience, or do I stray from the path? I try to make choices based on what is right, not what is popular, or convenient, or expedient. Do I, or do I do as I please, and then try to justify my behavior? I try to set a good example, by deed as well as by word. I value what is really important in life.
Do I, or do I
Place virtual reality, material gain, and success above honor, integrity, and even the people I love? Oh God, these are difficult questions. Having to answer them makes me uncomfortable. Yet I understand part of the purpose of such probing questions. Indeed, part of the purpose of this entire day is to make me uncomfortable. Uncomfortable for the sins I have committed. I need to speak these words aloud and know that the universe hears them. I get caught in old patterns and paradigms. I am stubborn and hard-headed. In the last year, I have missed the mark more than I want to admit. Forgive me, source of all being, for the sin I have sinned before you, by allowing my body to be an afterthought too often and too easily.
By not walking, running, leaping, climbing, or dancing, although I am able.
By eating in my car and at my desk, mindlessly and without blessing.
by not embracing those who needed it and
not allowing myself to be embraced,
by not praising everybody's beauty with our quirks and imperfections,
by letting my emotions run roughshod over the needs of others,
by poking at sources of hurt like a child worrying a sore tooth,
by revealing my heart before those who neither wanted nor needed to see it,
by hiding love out of fear of rejection instead of giving love freely, by dwelling on what's internal when the world is desperate for healing, by indulging in intelligent argument without humility or consideration,
by reading words of hatred, cultivating anger and contempt,
by avoiding intellectual discomfort that might prod me into growing,
by living in anticipation and letting anxiety rule me,
by accepting defeatist thinking and the comfortable ache of despair, by not being awake and grateful despite uncountable blessings, by not being sufficiently gentle in my actions or in my language, by not being flexible but obstinate, stark, and unbending, by not being generous with my time, with my words, or with my being, by not being kind to everyone who crosses my wandering path. For all of these, eternal source of forgiveness, help me know myself to be pardoned. Help me feel in my bones that I am forgiven. Remind me I'm always, already at one with you.
God, help me cross that desert place within me. The desert I feel when faced with my dreams, which I fear will vanish at my touch, mirages in the desert. The desert of sleeplessness and the desert of dreamlessness, and the harsh drought of a morning full of empty tasks. The desert of silence and the bone-dry rattle of wind through a mound of hollow phrases. In the drought of empty dreams, in the dreams of empty drama, I have grown barren. At times, I move without meaning, and my gestures wither in my hands. At times, I speak without meaning, and my words turn to dust in my mouth. Across the loneliness of all these deserts, God, I cry for help. As you helped my ancestors cross the deserts out of exile in Egypt, help me from my exile and guide me toward at-one-ment with myself and with you.
As I walk through this wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity. Oh, I ask myself, is all hope lost? Is there only pain and hatred and misery? Oh, and as I walk through troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. So where are the strong? And who are the trusted? And where is the harmony, sweet harmony? And each time I feel it slipping away, there's one thing I want to know. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what will we all embrace? Peace, love, and understanding. understanding.
Hopefully, each of us is nurtured in the family nest. Ideally, we are nudged and coaxed and encouraged to crawl, to walk, to run, to soar. So do we learn the values by which we live. Ideally, our parents nudged and coaxed and pushed. They were our teachers by word and by example, as were their parents for them. In the homes we establish, love and partnership among the generations must continue to be the pattern of our lives. Therefore, if the Day of Atonement is to have full meaning for us, we must seek at-one-ment, not only with ourselves, but with our families.
There are several meditations which follow. Please choose the ones that are appropriate for you. Yom Kippur is a time to think not only of what we have done wrong, but what we have not done right. Because sins of omission bring painful regret and are most difficult to forgive in ourselves. Yet we pass by opportunity after opportunity to express to our family and to others important to us feelings of admiration and appreciation. We expect those we care about just to know how we feel. Then one day, we look back with regret, wishing we could tell them, but we can't.
I'd like to tell you, but I haven't time.
I went out. People were coming and going, walking and running, so pressured.
Everything was rushing, cars, trucks, the neighborhood, the whole town.
People were rushing not to waste time. They were rushing after time to catch up with time, to gain time.
Goodbye. Excuse me, I haven't time.
I'll come back later. I can't wait. I haven't
I
time.
must send this email, but I haven't time.
I'd love to help you with your homework, but I haven't time.
How will you get to soccer practice? I haven't time.
I want to volunteer, but I haven't time.
That looks like a great concert, but I haven't time.
I can't accept having no
I
time.
can't think. I can't read. I'm swamped. I haven't time.
I'd like to pray, but I haven't time.
I want to tell you I love you,
but
but
I
I
haven't
haven't
time. Today we take the time to express what is often in our hearts, but seldom on our lips.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining, almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the thousand reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a song comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. This is a song with the request of you to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. May I suggest this is the best part of your life? May I suggest this is the best part of your life?
To the one I love, I appreciate you, not only for what you are, but for what you have helped me to be. Not only for what you have made of yourself, but for helping me become who I am. I thank you for passing over all the foolish, thoughtless things you cannot help seeing in me, and for drawing into the light the positive qualities you have found in me. You have listened, tolerated, encouraged, and supported me. You have enriched my life with a kind word, an understanding glance, a warm embrace, and most of all, by caring. You are always there for me, and that comforts me. If in this year I have offended you, belittled you, taken you for granted, or expected too much of you, I am truly sorry. Please forgive me.
To my parents, have I neglected to tell you I appreciate the sacrifices of your time for my time, of your needs for my needs? Have I neglected to tell you you have been my anchor, my sounding board, even my scapegoat? You have loved me even when I frustrated you, even when I disappointed you, even when I angered you. From your example, I have learned to love, to care, to commit, to grow. You provided me the foundation upon which to build my life. Have I neglected to tell you how much I love you? I want to tell you today.
To my child, there is a great love in my heart for you, and I want you to know of that love. We may have disappointed each other, you and I, even in some ways failed each other. For my mistakes, I am truly sorry, and I ask your forgiveness. If I failed to spend enough time with you, if I let my temper flare too often for too little, if I was overly critical or overly approving, if I pushed you in certain directions for my own gratification, if I was lax when I should have set limits, if I was rigid when I should have been flexible, if I neglected you or overprotected you, if I spoke when I should have remained silent or remained silent when I should have spoken, I am deeply sorry. For you, my child, are of me, and all you feel, I feel. If I could protect you from the pain of life, I would. If I could blot out life's indignities, I would. May you forever know I love you, and as your parent, I pray we are at one again.
Oh God, help me grow in my loving relationship to my family. Help me express my feelings of pride and appreciation. And when I am angry, help me express my anger constructively. Help me be as sensitive to my family as I try to be to my associates and friends. Help me choose my words well, for some words cut deep. Help me criticize without hurting. Help me accept criticism without resentment. Help me face issues that need facing. Help me not make an issue of every little thing. Help me be less judgmental, less overbearing. Help me respect my family's right to do things their way. Help me love my children when I find them difficult to love. Help me love them when I find it difficult to feel loving. Help me be open to the feelings of those I love. Help me open my heart to those who love me. Help us to establish homes in the tradition of our people, homes where children honor their parents, homes where parents respect their children, homes where there is shalom. wings of my law. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. But the heart has its beaches, its homelands, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. But the heart has its seasons, its evenings, and songs of its own. There comes a Redeemer, and he slowly too fades away. And there follows a wagon behind him that's loaded with clay. And the seeds that were silent all burst into bloom and decay. And night comes so quiet, it's close on the heels of the day. Sometimes we live no particular way but our own. Sometimes we visit your country and live in your home. Sometimes we ride on your horses. Sometimes we walk alone. Sometimes the songs that we hear are just songs of our own. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. But the heart has its beatings, its homelands, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. But the heart has its seasons, its evenings, and songs of its own.
Tikkun olam, repairing the world, is exhausting. It's worrisome, stressful, and time-consuming. Yet often we are the ones in need of repair. How can we, as imperfect beings, fix anything, even in a lifetime of service? How can we be successful at work, successful at family, successful at community, successful at life? Should we work longer hours, sleep less, relax less? We try to be everything to everyone.
Ecclesiastes pushes us to see that there is a time for everything, including a time to grieve and a time to celebrate. This year it has been harder and sometimes impossible to find that prescribed balance. Perhaps seeking balance right now is asking too much. We need to allow ourselves to feel the loss of equilibrium and to struggle. I remind myself of our ancient wisdom, and while it is not ours to finish, as the scope of the work is vast, it is not ours from which to desist. This work of tikkun, repair, is in our hands.
So, I give thanks that I am not numb and cold. I'm not at a loss for compassion for those who are suffering. I give thanks for the understanding that the situation that we are in is the result of human cruelty against others. And I am grateful for the understanding that humankind has the ability to act for a goal of minimizing suffering and hate and cycles of violence. I can at least help in some small way to achieve this goal.
I come to sing a song about hope. I'm not inspired much right now, but even so, I came out here to sing a song, so here I go. I guess I think that if I tinker long enough, one might appear. And look, it's here. One verse is done, the work's begun. I come to sing a song about hope. In spite of everything ridiculous and sad, though I'm beyond belief depressed, confused, and mad, well, I got dressed. I underestimated how much that would take. I didn't break until right now. I sing of hope and don't know how. So maybe I can substitute strength, because I'm strong. I'm strong enough. I got through lots of things I didn't think I could, and so did you. I know that's true. And so we sing a song about hope, though I can't guarantee there's something real behind it. I have to try to show my family I can find it. And so today, when life is crazy and impossible to bear, it must be there. Fear never wins. That's what I hope. See, I said hope. The work begins.
Some days and times and ways in this place and time, we attest to the painfulness of life, to the pernicious and perennial inclination of all humans to distinguish us from them, to make much of differences and light of similarities. We must attest to the unjust maldistribution of life's most fundamental resources and our inclination to hoard rather than share, to ignore rather than act. And we must face how we make such divisions worse by our own acts of disregard, diminishment, and destruction. On this holiest of days, in this place and time and way, we must shamefully admit our transgressions as a society and our callousness and apathy as individuals to, well, to you. Too often the world is reduced to my world, my environment, my needs. There are people around me hurting, grieving, hopeless, friendless, and I turn my back. I have troubles of my own. I listen to the news. I hear about destruction of our environment. I hear about rape and child abuse and about anti-Semitism and war. There is a world of hurt around me, and what do I say? What can I do? I am only a single voice. Am I failing my neighbors? Are we failing our world? Apathy and turned heads are not the answer. I am the answer. We are the answer.
God, I need a gentler day, a respite from the strident voices and the attention economy, problems I can't solve and burdens that feel too heavy. A break from the fog that is this crisis on slow release. There is so much anguish and despair, so much violence and distress. Let now an infinite presence enter our souls and our minds, teaching us a gentleness that transcends force and melts our hardness of heart towards those who need us. All who struggle vainly for attention.
And those who shrink with fear at another's touch.
All whose outward ugliness may hide a soul of beauty.
And those whose awkwardness blinds us to an inner grace.
All whose minds are clouded or weak.
And all those who bear the burden of broken bodies.
All who wait in pain only for death.
And those who wait for news which never comes.
Those who are alone, unloved, with none to love.
All orphans and widows, abandoned husbands and wives, neglected children.
We sin against you when we sin against our fellow human beings.
For the sin of indifference, O God, we ask forgiveness.
For the sin of wantonly, carelessly abusing our environment, poisoning our water, our air, our soil.
For the sin of not doing my part to stop the polluting. For the sin of not doing enough to stop the polluting.
For the sin of playing it safe when moral issues flame up too hot in the community and in the world.
For the sin of mouthing the words covenant and mission and brotherhood and justice, and then letting others do our part.
And for the sin of causeless hatred, for the sin we have committed by closing our hearts to people of other races, other nationalities, other orientations.
For the sin we have committed by polluting our children's attitudes with our prejudices.
For the sin we have committed by not respecting God's image in every human being. For all these sins, O God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement.
Where have all the bright dreams gone? May this penitential season make us more sensitive to the needs of our neighbors and more responsive to their pleas for sympathy and help. Uneasy and confused, we cry out, "Who is responsible?"
I am responsible.
Every night, millions of people go to bed hungry, many of them children. Have I done anything to help end starvation? Have I done enough to help end starvation? The streets are filled with homeless people. Have I done anything to give them a chance? Or do I walk by them, eyes closed to their plight? There are people all over the world oppressed and downtrodden, driven from their homeland, and I am asked repeatedly to help. Have I done something, anything, to let them know someone cares? Or do I care? Society abounds with dejected people, on the fringe because they are uneducated, illiterate, ill-prepared to make their way in our competitive world. Have I done anything to give them hope? Or am I insensitive to their need for help? Look, I'm a very busy person. I have my family, my friends, my job, meetings to attend, and I need some time for myself. You know how it is. A very busy person. My world is important, but I must reach beyond my world. Though we can't solve the world's problems alone, or even in our lifetime, we are not absolved from the obligation to try. We must no longer leave it to the next person. Before next year, let me make a difference. I could mentor an underprivileged child. Before next year, let me make a difference. I can telephone an elderly person alone in the world. Before next year, let me make a difference. I can feed a hungry child. Before next year, let me make a difference. I can help teach an illiterate person to read. Before next year, let me make a difference. I can reach out to an abused child. Before next year, let me make a difference. The community cries out for my involvement. For the sin of indifference or callousness in the face of human suffering, I ask forgiveness. For the sin of not doing my part, I ask forgiveness.
Choose, choose, choose life. Choose, choose, choose life. We all know hurt. We all know pain. We judge ourselves. We doubt ourselves. Fears we can't contain. You cry from lonely feelings. You pass an empty day. The easy road is giving up, but there's a better way. Choose, choose, choose life. Choose, choose, choose life. Let earth and sky bear witness. Choose life. Let earth and sky bear witness. Choose life. You don't always know where you reach. You don't always know who you touch. By choosing life, you plant the seeds that enrich the world so much. Those who love you need you. Their souls require your soul. Your presence in the universe helps to make it whole. Choose, choose, choose life. Choose, choose, choose life. The land of Canaan's calling. Choose life. The land of Canaan's calling. Choose life.
Today I find strength by admitting I am weak. But will
Will I find strength tomorrow?
Today I confess and face up to you, God, for the sins of a year.
But will I face up tomorrow?
Today I question my innermost soul to see if it is pure and clear.
But will I question tomorrow?
Today I pledge to follow the road that is right, not the road that is easy.
But
which road will I walk tomorrow?
Today I am at one with myself and with you. But will I be whole tomorrow?
O God, we know perfection is beyond us, but if we stumble, let it be on steps leading upward.
We are weak and the task seems hopeless until we remember we are not alone.
There is a grace that every dawn renews, a loveliness making every morning fresh.
We shall endure, we shall prevail. We shall see the soul restore to joy, the hand return to strength, and the will regain its force.
We shall ride with hope, we, the children of the one who crowded the heavens with stars, endowed the earth with glory, and filled our minds with wonder.
Today is a day for change.
Today is a day for growth.
Today is a new beginning.
And to this let us all say,
Amen. Please join us for our closing hymn, O Say Shalom. Sure. Stand up, put your arms around each other. joining us. The afternoon service will continue in just a few minutes.
Can't get much closer than that.
Oh, I thought we were going to provide.